When the market does something, Sony doesn't care and does things entirely on their own accord. This is the 5th generation of Sony Xperia mid-range phones, which is called Sony Xperia 10 Mark V. This phone is more tailored towards mainstream consumers. But the question is whether this attempt is successful. The phone was launched with a price tag of €450, placing it in the mid-range category. From my perspective, the original price tag was never justified, considering Chinese manufacturers are dominating this segment with better features and lower prices. I waited a few months and bought it for €320. If you continue to watch this video, I will tell you the top reasons why this phone is the right choice for you, and I will also talk about the drawbacks. The phone has Sony's 21:9 default aspect ratio, and the size is similar to Sony's compact flagship phone, Sony Xperia 5 Mark V, which I recently reviewed. It features a tall display, a fingerprint scanner on the power button, a headphone jack, an SD card slot, and an easily removable SIM card tray. There are 3 cameras on the back, an included NFC reader for card payments, and the back is made out of plastic, which is expected in this price range. A plastic back makes it easier to repair. The phone is very light, weighing only 150 nines with a thickness of 8.8 mm. I can personally use it one-handed most of the time. The screen can get bright enough for both indoor and outdoor use cases. The pixel density also almost matches Sony's flagship phone, Xperia 5 Mark V. Here you can see the Xperia 5 Mark V on the right and Xperia 10 Mark V on the left side. I particularly like the placements of the front-facing camera and the notchless design of Xperia 10 Mark V like other Sony Xperia phones. In my opinion, the placement on the fingerprint scanner is much better than on-screen fingerprint scanners. This placement allows you to take your phone out of your pocket, already unlocked, by simply placing your finger on the power button. The scanner is not the fastest, but does the job as intended. Since you are already this far into the video, I have a favor that I want to ask you. Shooting videos can be expensive, and I'm paying for equipment and Adobe Suite subscription out of the pocket. Currently, I have fewer than 1,000 subscribers, which means YouTube won't pay me for the views even though you are watching the ads. Before I talk about the pros and cons of this phone, please take a moment and consider subscribing to the channel and ring the notification bell. Thank you in advance. One thing that particularly bothered me during unboxing is the realization of the lack of a charger and cable in the box. Don't look for a charger in the box. I looked and it's not there. Moving on from lack of charger, the first reason you might consider buying this phone is its amazing battery life. Based on my own experience, the battery lasts easily 2 to 3 days. According to GSM Arena, the phone lasts 16 hours on active use, which is 50% more than an average phone like Google Pixel 8 or Samsung Galaxy A54. Sony also offers a battery care mode, in which the device charges in a way that reduces the amount of time the battery is close to fully charged to increase the battery lifespan. From my personal experience, Sony phones have a much longer battery lifespan compared to other brands. The second reason you would want to have this phone is the 21:9 aspect ratio. This aspect ratio allows you to use the phone with one hand while having more real estate to scroll vertically. Moreover, this aspect ratio makes the phone look unique compared to other smartphones. Feel free to write down in the comment section what's your thought on this 21:9 aspect ratio and whether you ever consider buying a phone that looks like this. The third reason is the clean UI that is provided by Sony. Sony devices don't have bloatware like other competitors. The experience is very close to stock Android. Only a few applications are installed, except for Google Suite, and that's a welcoming trend. From my perspective, only Motorola, Nokia, and Sony right now provide such an experience. Even Samsung comes with lots of bloatwares. Xperia 10 Mark V also provides a mode called Original, which keeps the color of photos more natural to what they originally look like. Thanks to dual front speakers, Xperia 10 Mark V has a 360 audio mode that you can activate. The chipset of the phone is not the greatest Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 5G, which is, to put it nicely, rather slow. Together with the fact that the screen is only 60 Hz, it doesn't make the phone very smooth, and lagging is sometimes noticeable. It's a pity, especially since the phone is tall, making it perfect for multitasking. You can also add a smaller window to the main screen and do some productivity work while you are in another meeting that your colleague sent an invite for, which could be just a Slack message. I'm not a heavy gamer, but I did some light gaming on the phone, and I didn't experience any issues. I can imagine with the 695 chipset, you may not be able to run all the games without lagging. This chipset also limits the camera to only shoot video in HD and not 4K. The Xperia 10 series have 3 cameras. Unlike Xperia 5 series, the 10 series only has 1 camera app, and there is no Photo Pro or Video Pro on the phone. You can open the camera app by double-clicking the power button. There is also no dedicated shutter button, which really is a miss. I always felt like the dedicated shutter button is Sony's phone signature, and without it, it feels like something is missing. But at least you can zoom in and out with the volume keys. The zoom is up to 10 levels, but naturally the quality of the image drops after more than 2 to 3 times of zooming. And more than that, Sony uses artificial intelligence to boost the image quality. The quality of the 3 cameras is very acceptable for outdoor shooting. As an example, you can see that I went to a frozen lake near my house and I took 3 shots in 3 different settings. All the photos are taken in 4K resolution. Sony camera also has a night mode and a bokeh effect portrait mode that lets you give an artificial depth to your portrait photo. This is what people consider professional. I was also pleasantly surprised by the quality of the zoom on Xperia 10 Mark V. The level of details is enough when there is enough outdoor light. As I mentioned, one of the problems with the chipset is the lack of ability to take 4K videos. On the other hand, the quality of the video on normal HD is satisfactory, and the digital stabilization works nicely. I hope Sony uses a better chipset for the next generation and letting users capture their moments in 4K. After all, Sony's mission is to bring a sense of awe to this world. By the way, don't be fooled, these birds are monsters. The camera setting lets you choose the size and aspect ratio of the image. Turn the object tracking on, take HDR photos, and soften your skin to look cute in selfies. Sony also provides a digital zoom setting which uses artificial intelligence to increase the quality of the pictures after zooming. The object tracking works nicely and is similar to other Sony flagship phones. This phone is so close to be a perfect mid-ranger, but it comes short in some areas. If you want a nice battery life, a clean UI, and you love Sony, you can buy this phone. After all, Sony phones are quite unique. But definitely don't buy it at full price. There's also the problem of the lack of support for some carriers in the United States and Sony pulling out of some key markets. If you are looking for performance, something for gaming, a better display, look somewhere else. Let me know what you think about this phone. Do you think Sony made the right choice with the chipset and putting this mid-ranger in the market, or they could do potentially better? I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, take a look at the review of the other Sony Xperia 5 Mark V, and see you in the next one. Bye!